some data on our server that we are able to view the data on our servers as well. So then I have a conclusion. So we have the cement mills. We have 2 KMPP 751. Then the serial numbers, the IP address is the 172, 30, 105, 248. We have different Xtools versions on your systems. At the cement mill and the war mill, we have 4.02. On the coal mill, we have 4.04. There is some difference later I will show to you. So for viewing the live data, we use the professional Xtools version and the Open Predictor. At the coal mill, we use the Express version, but I have a second slide where it's maybe some easier to understand it. So the stored data are always shown in the Xtools Express version or in the Open Predictor. So at the war mill, we have 2 KMPP 601, and the coal mill is a KMPS 396. So these are only informations for you that you can view later, that you have an overview of everything. The IP address of the configured PC is the 250 at the end. So then we have 2 software. So we have the Xtools software and the Open Predictor software. At the Xtools software, we are connected directly to the nodes and receive the raw data. The Open Predictor is only receiving the data from the Xtools software. So the configuration of the single input modes will be done in the Xtools software. And the raw data can record it at the Xtools software as well. And event monitoring is done with Xtools. Open Predictor is used for the spectra analysis, so the acceleration spectra, velocity spectra, also spectra are calculated in Open Predictor. And the mimic the right one use this using Open Predictor because it's a better overview like in Xtools. So Xtools is divided into a client and a server. The client is the graphic interface of the software, so you can visualize everything. You can start some calculation, you can stop calculations, and on the server, the calculations are done. So the server itself, you don't see at your desktop. It's only in the background and done all the calculations.
Mr. Eric.
Yeah.
Can we interrupt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Last time we asked to Mr. Alex because the Open Predictor not yet installed, right?
The Open Predictor is installed at your configured PC.
For PC client or PC client.
Yeah. There we configured everything and Open Predictor is installed as well.
Sorry, repeat.
The Open Predictor software is installed at your configured PC. I can show it later.
Oh, okay.
So here's only an overview of all the functions, and later I will show at your configured PC where you can start everything. Okay?
Okay, Mister.
Yeah. So then we have different versions of Xtools. So we have the Express version. It's working with the stored data. And the professional version is working with the live data. For the Express version, you don't need a license. For the professional server, you need a license, which is installed at the condition monitoring systems. So at Open Predictor, we have only one user interface, but we have different credentials to log in with. You have the credentials of the Open Predictor, correct? For your user?
Yes, Mr. Yes.
Okay, so you have the credentials user. So these credentials are for the customer because you have limited access. You can see all the data you want, but you are limited by the acknowledging and adjusting the alarm limits. So the alarm limits can only be adjusted by our user, and that's the reason because we want to follow the alarm trends, and it's easier for us if only we will adjust the limits. So in general, we recommend to the customer to work only on the configured PC, because then the calculation on the CMS systems will not be attached by your actions, and no task will be stopped, and we can always connect to the systems and will not be blocked because someone of you is working on the systems. So this is the reason why we recommend a configured PC on your side. Then I have the last slide. So we have the Open Predictor. We have 3 different Open Predictors instance installed on your configured PC. The first one is for the CM1 and 2, the warm 1 and 2, and the cold. So we have 3 separate predictor software, and then you are always able to view on the online and offline data. It's a little bit complicated, or more complicated. You can see the online signals for the CMN1 and for the similar 1 and 2 and warmer 1 and 2 in the professional version, because this is a X-Tools 4.0.2, and the data of the code with the online data, so the live data of the code you can see in the Express version. I will show it on your configured PC, and then it should be clear for you. And then all the offline data of the X-Tools version I show you in the Express version. Do you have general questions to this slide? Otherwise, I will connect to your PC and show on your PC how to log in and how to start the software. Okay, it's not the case, so I will connect to the PC. Okay. So here we have your PC. So you have the 172, 30, 105, 250. So this is the configured PC do for you. We have here 3 Open Predictor software. So via code, via wall 1 and 2, via CM1 and 2. If I click, for example, via wall 1 and 2, here you can see login data. So user ID is user, password is user 2. Then I click OK. And now we have the user interface of the via normal 1 and 2. Here we have the possibility to open the Mimic. And I think you know to open this one. Here we have an overview of all the signals, and we can switch to the other medium by clicking this button, and then the normal is shown. If we want now trend of one of the values, we can double click on it. So double click on the temperature, then the second window is opened, and then here you have the trend of the temperature. Here is shown from the it's a little bit too big, so I have to take a while because of the internet connection. So here we have the time range from the 26th of July last year until now. And we see the complete trend of the temperature of the Bearing 451 radio. So if you want to see another you can select with medium term, long term, you select time range, or you are able with this symbol view plot manager settings. You can type in your own time range. So here you can type the start time. So you can select, for example, November 10th until now. Okay. Then I can close this one, and then with this button, Scala plot, then all the events which are configured in the manager's view plot manager settings will be loaded. So if I click now, then we get the trend from the 10th of November until now. And by clicking over the mouse, we can zoom in if we want. And if we want to see the whole trend again, here we can fit the data to the data from time axis. Then the whole time axis will show again. So this is the first option to load the trend data. The second possibility is to open the browser. So you got icon. If I click here, the measurement view will be open. So we have the customer buyer. We have now the units 1.1 or 1.2. And here we have the operation. Under operation, for example, speed, torque, pressure is stored. And here we have the gearbox. So at the gearbox, we have the input shaft, where we have the ACC 901. And here we have the overall, so the RMS value. We can right click on this one and click to plot manager, add in measurement list. So I can select this one, go back to the browser, go to the planetary stage one, ACC 903, select the overall as well, click here, and then we can see in the view plot manager settings, then we can see that we have here now two signals. We have the possibility to select the time range, okay, and then by clicking this one, we can load the trend data. So it takes a while. So here we have the possibility to show it next to each other. ACC 901 looks a little bit strange, but this could be the reason because the sensor was changed and now it is valid, and the other signal before is invalid. So the invalid values aren't shown in Open Predictor. But this is the second possibility to load the data. Do you have any questions to this? Everything is clear. A short feedback would be great.
Mr. Eric,
Yeah.
that's the only way to show that data, or there is another way, more simply, I mean.
In Open Predictor, that's the two ways. So we can go over the browser, or the simpler way the simpler way is to click on the data directly in this mimic, double click on it, and then you receive the trend.
So it will be the same data that loaded in this graphic.
Yeah, so if you double click this one, then every time only one signal will be shown in the plot manager, in this plot manager settings. But you can, for example, now I selected the ACC 904, then I can double click the IMS of 902, for example, then the second one will be loaded as well. And this is, I think, the easiest way to load the data. And now you can click here that you can see both. So this is the easiest way to load the RMS data, or the trends of the temperatures in Open Predictor. If you want to load spectra data, then you have always go in this browser, select the measuring sensor you want, and then you can click the spectra you want to load, right click, add a measurement list, and now here's the symbol changed. Now you can see here spectrum plot. In this view manager, now you can select here the time range like before. The maximum number of signatures should be limited to 30 signatures. And then you can, for example, plot 1 out of 3 spectra. Okay. Click here, and then the spectra will be loaded. And if you want to see the different spectra, you can click here to go to the earlier one. Here's the unit of the spectra. So here we have acceleration, but we can change it into velocity or into displacement as well. So the software itself will be calculate all the different types of spectra. this are the possibilities to load the data in Open Predictor. So the easiest way is to work with the mimic, the more complex way, but then you have more possibilities to set your own values is to use the browser. And this is for all 3 CMS systems. So you can open all the mimics on this server at the same time. So if I click user, then we have a second mimic for the CMS cement mill 1, and we can start the coal mill user okay, user, and then we have 3 different mimics for all the 3 CMS systems.
Excuse me, Mister. Can I
Yeah.
interrupt?
Yeah, you
Okay, I
can
will
always
ask
interrupt me.
something. Okay. Last time, when we try to see the Open Predictor in our PC here, we
Yeah.
cannot see the Open Predictor software there. But every time we do remote from our PC to the server user, we cannot see the Open Predictor software. But only in our PC there is no Open Predictor when we open it. So we can only use Open Predictor when we remote from our PC to user center server, like
Okay.
that.
So you sent us the IP address 172.30.105.250. And the user credentials I have to look up is user CMS password 12345 QWERTY. These are the users I used for the remote connection to your configured PC, and it's working now. I don't know which user or which credentials you used for this PC.
Maybe you can write down on the chat box, Mr. Eric.
Yeah, wait.
How to
Yeah.
how to log in.
So Notepad. We use this. Okay, yeah. So the IP address is this one. User CMS password. So these are the credentials we use to connect to this configured PC. And then it's working. I don't know. Do you use other users or other credentials?
Okay, maybe we can try after this session, yeah, Mister. Mr. Eric.
Okay.
Please continue
Have anyone tried it now? Because I was kicked off from the remote connection.
You lost the connection.
I lost the connection to the to the configured PC, so it seems that one of your or someone on your side is connected to the PC.
Okay, I'm so sorry, Mister. One of my friend tried to log in with this PC.
Okay, but now you are able to connect and you see all the open predictor.
Okay, wait. We try.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we can open all the function.
Okay.
Shall we continue?
Yeah, I will connect to the system. So now you will be kicked off from the client because I want to show the Xtool software. And later, after I showed the Xtool software, then you can connect to the system and we can try to use the fast viewer session. So I'm able to see. I'm able to connect to the system, and at the same time you can log in on your site, and then you can try everything, and if you have further questions you can ask me via Teams. I can look via fast viewer on the PC and can help you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
So I connect to the system and we have to wait. So configuring remote session. That's strange. So the PC is still running, correct? So connecting to the system. 5. Configuring session. That's very, very strange. So, are you still connect to the PC?
No, sir. I will close.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay, now it's working again. Okay, so I can minimize this one. Okay. So for Xtools, there we have configured network locations. So the offline data of all the different measurement systems are connected via this Explorer. So we have one network storage for the CM for the cement mill 1 and 2. So we have here the trend data, the ring buffer, mill start stopping, and the same is stored for the war mill. Under offline files, we have here the different folders for all the stored data. And this is necessary for the Xtool software because here it's everything file-based. So Open Predictor is working with the database, and you connect with this user or graphic user interface to the database on the CMS systems. At Xtools, it's everything file-based, so we can connect. We have here this two different Xtools versions. Here we have the Xtools for the cement and war mill for the live data. So if I click this one, then the client is started. And here we have the cement mill 1 and 2. And we have here all the live data are shown. So we have here two servers. The server bias CM1, 2 is not running on this PC. This is connected to our condition monitoring server, and there the online data are calculated, and on your PC only the client is installed and is connected to our server. So the data itself are calculated on the CMS systems, but here you are able to view the data. To view the data, you have to select here the monitoring system. Here we have the main management system, monitoring system, analyzing system, storage system. But in your case, you need only the monitoring system. And yet now it's very simple. You can drag and drop this value to the right side, and a new window will be opened. So, window mode tapped. But you see, this time range is very small, so you can hold your mouse on this, and then you can see to which time range it will be changed. So now we can see 1 minute. We can right click on the y-axis and then click fit to axis. Then the axis will be fitted to the present data, and you see the trend of the last minute. You can scroll if you hold these. If you hold your mouse on the y-axis, you can scroll down, scroll up, and you will change the y-axis, for example. If you right-click and hold your mouse, you can move the whole y-axis. The same is on the time axis as well. So if I click the right mouse, it's not working here. If you now want to see more than one value, then you can select the other values, for example. Hold the control key on your keyboard, and then you can drop it here. So with this symbol, the data will be shown in the same monitoring chart. So if we receive 4 different time axes. It's not so nice, but we cannot change it. And now we are able to see all the data here. We can right click here, fit to axis. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 signals we can see. I don't know if it's internet connections that that it's not so good, the visualization. I think if you log in directly to the PC, it should be better. It should be a better performance for you. So I will delete some signals. So if I select here the signals and delete them, they are only deleted in this monitoring chart. So you are not able to delete any live signal here. So you don't have to worry if you delete the signals in the monitoring chart, they will be still available for you in the left column. So if I select the second one, we have different possibilities to show it. So if I hold the mouse till here, the signal will be added in this monitoring chart. If I click it here, then you see new. Then a new monitoring chart will be open. So here we have the second monitoring chart, and it will be shown the second signal. And we have the possibility to go here. Then we have a third symbol and a new tab, like in the Internet Explorer or something like this. A new tab will be opened and the signal will be shown in the new tab, and you have the possibility to switch between the single tabs to view the data. So if you close here, the monitoring chart will be closed. If you click here, the tab will be closed. So you don't need to save this one. I will change it. So wait. So then you don't have always the question if you want to save this. So here we have under Bayer CM1 and 2, we have only the data of the cement mills. And here we have a second server, the wall mill 1, 2, and here we have all the data of the wall mills. It's the same. We can select one, drag and drop it in the monitoring system, and then it will be shown here in the monitoring system. So this is the functions of the first Xtools software. Do you have any questions regarding this one? Okay. Then
You
I
can
will
continue,
go.
Mr.
Can you repeat it?
Yes, there's no question about this. Can continue.
Okay. Okay, great. So this is the first Xtools. So the Xtools for the cement and warmel for the live data. And we have here a second Xtools version. It's for the coal live data and for all the stored data. So I can start this one. And here we have the version 404. And we have here two servers as well. So we have the desktop, that is a server which is running on your PC. So here we have an icon, the CMS Xtools Server Express. It's working, so status is okay. The version is 404. Everything is fine. And here we have a second server, It's a microbox 427 Dora, and here we have all the data of the coal mill. So here we have to go in the monitoring system again and click and hold this, and now we should be able fit to access. That's strange. Okay, I will check why it isn't shown, but I will solve this problem. So this one can be closed. Okay. So the second server, the desktop express version, there you can load the offline data. So here you have the offline data, right click on offline data, and then select load offline data. Then it will be then here the tab will be switched to the storage system. And here we have the three different folders for the CM1, for the coal, and for the war mills. And you see this folder structure was the same like in the Explorer. So if we go to CM12, offline data, offline files, then we have here the same structure. So this is the reason why we have to connect this shared folders, shared network folders to your configured PC, because then we have the possibility to load this stored data. Mill start up, mill stopping. These are folders where the mill starts and stops are recorded with a higher sampling rate. This is important for systems where the torque signal is valid and to analyze the torque signals or the start process and the stopping process of the gear units. The ring buffer is used for high recorded or high resampled data, and the data will be overwritten within 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Torque classification is not important for you, but the most important folder for you is the trend data folder. In the trend data folder, you can scroll down, for example, and here we have all the trend data will be stored for each day. Each day we have 4 folders, so the files will be splitted into 6 hours, and every 6 hours the files will be stored. To load this data, you can select, for example, from today to the 12th of December. So we selected 1 month.
Mr. Eric.
Yeah.
The screen is freezing. I can see.
Okay, you don't see the storage. Do you see the storage system?
Now the screen is in CM12 office data.
Okay.
But I can see your screen, Eric. So I think it is not your you are sharing, but you're sharing.
I can see also the screen, but there is no movement.
Okay. I cancel the sharing and start the sharing again. Maybe then it's working, hopefully.
Okay, Mister. So sorry about this.
No problem. Do you see the screen again?
Not yet. Still black.
Okay. Stefan?
I can see everything. Yeah, you're trying to right-click export, I think, and I can see
Yeah.
everything.
Okay.
I think if the screen is freezing, maybe then also you can try to leave the meeting and come back. That maybe could also help.
Okay. I will try to leave the meeting and then join again. Yeah.
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 Indra, monitor Indra.
Yes, me too. I can see also.
Okay. So only me here who cannot see the screen. Yes. Okay. I will try to leave and then join again.
We are
Yeah.
waiting.
Okay. Can you see the screen now? It's only black for you again? Okay, okay. Maybe we can wait a few seconds. Maybe then it will be back.
Alec, Agus, what about you? You having the same problems?
I can see the.
No, Stefan, I can see.
I can see.
Okay.
Okay. Another possibility.
Okay.
Now it's working? Is it working now or not? Okay, so I can continue. Oh, wait. So you are on site, and do you have the possibility to connect to the system? So do you see the screen or not?
Yes, already.
Yeah, okay. So I can go on. Great. So I'll show to you that the trend data is the most important folder here. So we can select this one, go to the end of this list and select, for example, 1 month by the shift key. So you select the last folder, hold the shift key on your keyboard, select the start date, and then right click on the folders and click append. So with appending, the data are loaded from the network share to your local RAM. So the data will be shown in this offline data or under this point offline data. It takes a while.
Mr. Eric,
Yeah.
this folder location for the trend, right?
Yeah.
So this file manually we save or automatically.
This data are stored automatically every 6 hours. The AMS values, the temperature values, torque values, speed, oil pressure. So all or how it is stored, this is configured by us on the measurement PCs. You are only have the possibility to load the stored data. Did I answer your question correct, or was it not your question?
Yeah, okay. So this file we can load every time because this is automatic.
Yeah. So we have configured on our condition monitoring system on our server this storage files and all the data. So we have a crashed hard disk at the CM1. So the older data are lost at this point. But for example, at the coal mill, we have in the trend data, we have all the data from May 2021. At the war mills, we have from 2016, for example. But you have to be careful with the data which you want to load. You cannot load all the data at the same time, because then your RAM is completely full and the PC will be crashed. So you can load, for example, 6 months of the trend data. And if you want to load the wing buffer data, the high resampled data, it's only 3 hours. So with this data, the PC is working well. But if you load more data, it will be possible that the PC itself will be crashed and the PC has to be restarted. So now, after we append the data to the offline data, we have here the data in the RAM, and then we are able to select the data, drag and drop it to the right side, and then we are able to see the trend of this data.
Mr. Eric,
Yeah.
when the data is big, the application will be slowly or still.
Yeah, if you load too many data, the software or this configured PC will getting slowly, and in the worst case, the PC will crash and you have to restart the PC. So 6 months of trend data is okay. 3 hours of the wing buffer is also okay.
Your recommendation, the data we must back up how long?
You don't have to back up it. So or do you want to back up this folders?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Normally the hard disk, shouldn't crash, but we all know they crash sometimes. So if you want to load the data, I think every 6 months or once per year should be enough. If you then save the data out of the trend data. So the other folders you don't have to back up. You only need to back up the trend data. The wing buffers is overwritten itself, but this data aren't so interesting after a while. And the mill starting, mill stopping, I'm not sure, but some torque measurements aren't working correctly, so these storage folders aren't uninteresting for you then. So if you want to back up on an external hard disk, then only back up the trend data, and I think every 6 months or once per year is enough. Okay, so here we have the possibility to see the loaded trends. If you click in the screen, hold the mouse, you can zoom in, and then you can see the red field, and in this area will be zoom in. If you right click, you can always fit to chart, then the whole data are shown. If you zoom in and hold the control key, then only the y-axis will be zoomed. So if I now zoomed in, then only the y-axis will be zoomed. If I click in, hold it, and hold the shift key, then only the time range will be zoomed. So then I have the possibility to click on only on one of the axes, fit to axis, then this axis will be fitted to the loaded data, and all the data will be shown in the selected time range. If I click here, fit to axis, the whole loaded data will be shown. So, and here we have also the possibility to view it in a second monitoring chart. Here we can see that one of the temperatures is going failed. So if I delete this one, can fit to axis. Now it is shown correctly. Here was a time where the PC was hanging, I think. So here we have no data. It happens sometimes. Then the PC itself is hanging or the connection to the nodes were hanging. I'm not sure in this case. So then you have here the other folders, and it's the same way to load the data at the other folders like before. So, do you have any questions? If not, I would recommend that you log into the PC on your site. You can try something. You can load the data on your own. You can view the data. You can zoom in, zoom out. I connected via fast viewer, so I have the possibility here. It's fast viewer, so I have the possibility to be on your system at the same time. So if you have any questions by working on the system, you can ask via Teams. I look at the same time in this fast viewer session and can help you, can support you. Okay. So you can log into the system.
We will try first. We have permit.
Please cancel this loading process. Cancel. You have to open the folder on the and then you have to select the days you want to load. So if you select the whole Trend data folder, all the 5 years will be loaded, and that's too much. Yeah, you can, for example, Then you selected the 9th of February 2021. So the folders are structured like the first four digits are the year, then the month is following, and the last 2 digits are the day. So preparing to load, sometimes it takes a while. I'm not sure. Maybe you have to restart the server because if you cancel one of the loading processes, it's sometimes that you don't see the loading process, but in the background it's still loading. So we have to cancel this one. To restart the software, we can right-click on the Express and then reinitialize the Xtool server. Then the Express server will be shutting down and starting up again. And then it should be faster again to load the data. So it's there you have to be careful that you don't select the first folder. So it takes a little time. Here you can see it's still shutting down. Maybe it takes 1 or 2 minutes, and then it's starting up again in a few moments. But in the meantime, you can try to load the data in Open Predictor, try to view the live signals. So to load the data, you have to wait a little bit, but the other functions you can test now. Okay. So that's the reason, because you selected too many files at the same time. Okay, then we have to close this one and restart it again. So CMS Xtool Server Express is status okay. So now you are able to load the data again. You can go on. Are you still there?
Again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
So
you get with all?
you have to go on the left side and select the offline data of the Express version of the Express server. So you have select one higher offline data. Yeah, right click, load offline data, and then you are in the storage system. Then you can select your data you want to load. Yeah. So there you can load more than one day. Select the last one, for example, the last day. Okay. You can select the day. Okay. Append, yeah. Yeah. Now it's now you have monitoring system correct, and drag and drop it. So you selected only 6 hours for the loading. You can go back in the storage system and select more than one day. So you can select the 11th of January, for example. Higher, yeah, this folder. And then you can select, you can select more than one day at the same time. So you can select up to 180, 200 days at the same time for the loading. It's only not possible to load more than 6 months at the same time. So you can select more than one. For example, you can select this one, hold the shift key, and then append, and then you have loaded now around 1 week. Okay. Then you can go in the monitoring system and view the data.
Mr. Eric,
Yeah.
this is for the overall measurement, right?
Normal one. Yeah.
Yeah, no. The value overall velocity.
Of the raw signal, you the war signal isn't stored. So the war signal you see only in the online data. Here is the velocity effective value. If you want to see the war data, you have to go in the monitoring system, online, and then, for example, ACC 901. This, in this case, for example, ACC 901, this is the war signal. But in the war signal, you don't see many things.
How about the spectrum acceleration?
Okay. Yeah. The spectra. Yeah. So the spectra are always only shown in the open predictor. So I showed it to you before. Yeah, I will only give you the hints where you have to click, okay? Please select the open predictor in the task list. Yeah. Then you have to select the browser. It's a third icon. The third icon. 1, 2, 3. The third. Yeah, browser, correct. There we have the measurement tree. You have, yeah, gearbox. So the acceleration sensors are under input shaft, yeah. And there we have the different spectra. So RS is always the autonomous spectra, so the frequency spectra. OS is the order spectra. You know the difference between order and frequency spectra, yes or not? Okay. The order spectra is divided with the speed values. So the order spectra are always, one order is at the rotation input frequency, for example. So the low, medium, high is a frequency range, which is calculated in the spectra. For the acceleration spectra, we always use the AS high spectra. So please select AS high. No. Please close this one. Close this. AS. Yeah. So here we have acceleration frequency spectrum. If you click on the, then you can click on the peaks, for example, on the highest peak. Yeah. Wait. So if you click here, you will see here the frequency. It's 349 hertz. But you have the possibility cursors, independent mode, and then you can double click here, and then the value will be shown in this list as well. So if you click here, then the difference between these peaks is also shown. So this is the frequency acceleration spectrum of ACC 901. The RMS value is, for example, calculated from 0 to 1000 hertz. So this spectrum you can see in AS medium. Then you have to go back in the measurement tree, in the browser. AS medium, yeah. And here you can see the acceleration, but the effective value is always calculated of the velocity. Yeah, correct. Then you have to select velocity. And this is, for example, the spectrum which is used for the RMS value. Then you have the possibility to view the kinematic cursors. So here you have the kinematic cursors. And for example, gearbox, we have here all the different cursors, the kinematic cursors defined. So the ball passing frequency of at the outer wing of bearing 150, but you can go into this one, into medium stage, and then you have the GMO is, for example, the gear meshing order. Then the gear meshing order will be shown. If you right click on this one, you can add this, and the kinematic cursors will always be shown. And then you can go to the next one, bevel stage, gear meshing frequency of this one, right click add. And if you go then to the top, only this two will be shown. You can enable, disable this one and select the number of harmonics which should be shown. Now you can go on. Do you have further questions? Can I help you? What you want to show or what you want to load?
About the spectrum of the bevel have indication in the pinion, can have.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, for the bevel stage, the frequency marker can we read in the pinion.
So you mean the rotation frequency of this one, of the input shaft? Or you mean the trend of this peak?
Yes.
The trend. Okay.
I
The
think the question
trend-
is, Eric, if there is, for example, a damage on the beveling on the pinion shaft, so a tooth damage on the
okay.
input shaft,
Yeah,
where would you be able to see this?
Okay.
And
So
how do you display? Yeah.
yeah. Thank you. So here we have the spectra which is calculated. And in each spectrum, we have several peaks which are monitored. It's on its own. So we have here the bevel stage, and here are the feature extractions of the bevel stage. And here we have the rotation shaft 1, the first harmonic in the order spectrum low. If we double click here, then we can see the trend of this one feature extraction. But you can see here only for the bevel stage, there are several feature extractions which are calculated at each spectrum which are calculated. So we have several trends to monitoring the bevel stage, for example. Does this answer your question? Maybe one other thing. Here we have the current alarms. So in this case, we have no alarms at the wall mill 1 and 2, no alarms at this one, and no alarms at this one. Okay, that's not so nice. If there's an alarm, then we have always the possibility to go here into this one, and then the alarms are listed here, and we can double click here and the trend of the alarm is shown. So if you have one outlier, the alarm will only be acknowledged. So the alarm limits will not be adjusted. If there's an increasing trend, then we will adjust the limits to a higher value. And if we think, okay, that's increasing damage, or there is an initial damage at the gear units, then we will write a special report and send it to you. And then you can see, okay, they detected it, and you have the possibilities to view the trends which we shown in the reports. You can view or you can search the trends in this measurement tree and load it on your own, and then you can track the trends if you want.
I'm just trying to remember, do we actually currently have some kind of issue with one of the pinion shafts, or was it just a random question?
Is this question to me or to the customer?
No, it's to Chimindo. I actually don't really recall if there was an issue with one of the pinion shafts, or if everything currently is in good shape.
Mr. Eric,
Yeah.
our team have some experience about the pinion on the input shaft. on the Romil 2.
Okay.
But we found that we have found the spectrum of the GMF, gear mesh frequency, from our tools with manually collecting data
Yeah.
on site. We found that some GMF is already touched the sideband. As we know that the indication of the gear mesh frequency is in good or bad is from the sideband. If the sideband is higher than actually sideband, so it means that something is going on in the gear mesh itself.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Yes. But we cannot
It's
found that issue on this application. Maybe you can help us to the comparison of the data between the actual manually collecting data with this online monitoring data.
okay. So Warmel 2, we have the input shaft. I think at the input shaft, we have the gear meshing order of the first stage. We have the measuring frequency of the different of the first stage with different harmonics, and the rotating frequency of this shaft. So if you want to look for the bevel stage, you have to go at the input shaft, feature extraction, then you can view the trends, or you can select the for example, order spectrum medium, and there it should be possible to compare your values with the CMS value. You said it was at the input shaft. At the bevel stage, you found some irregularities. Did you find them at the input shaft or at one of the planetary stages?
I think he said gear mesh frequency of the bevel gear stage, Eric.
Of the bevel, yeah, I think so too. But here we have here we have some small sidebands, but I think that's.
But I also just remember that the question came up a few weeks ago. I'm not sure if I sent it to Jörg or someone, because also the reports which were created, I think only last month or 2 months ago, I also just checked again. They don't state any issues. So basically, I also don't know what was measured manually. So with a mobile device at site.
Yeah, at the but so we have the ACC 109, which is replaced now, but the 902 is located near this. So overall 2, it's located here. So this should be measured the bevel stage as well, and I don't know anything about some issues of the bevel stage. I can ask Jörg, but I think
Okay.
we don't see it.
Actually, the spectrum is a little bit the same like this, yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
There is two spectrum on the GMF like this, but the sideband is extremely more higher than this.
Okay.
Our team collect that data maybe not the same location with this sensor, but almost near the sensor from the outside.
Okay.
So I don't know if there is some different method about this, because on this online monitoring sensor inside the equipment, but in our tools that collecting manually with man, we collect on the outside of the gearbox. Is there is a big difference if we collect data like this? So it makes the report is different.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the ACC 901 is now located outside as well. So the difference,
Should be the same, yeah.
yeah, it should be the same. The difference before should be that our amplitudes should be higher. If you are nearer located to the source of vibration, so in this case the gear meshing frequency, so if you are measured inside directly near to the gear meshing to the bevel stage, and then the amplitude should be higher than if you measured it outside, but you should see the same pattern if you measured inside or outside. But I don't know how many times, how frequently you measured. Once per day, once a week, or
Once
how often?
every 2 weeks.
Every
If
2
there is
weeks.
some high vibration of the raw mill, got
Okay.
information from the operation, so we take
Yeah.
the data, collecting the data again.
Okay. So if I scroll down here, so in this case there was a higher peak. I can. Okay, that's too high. Overview settings view, you can adjust the limits. So here we can select 2, for example. Scrolling through these points. Okay, I know. I think here it was the time you changed the location. So around the 1st of January, you changed it, correct?
Yes, correct, Mister.
Yeah.
Based on your report, yeah, there is
Yeah,
2
so
sensor that you have that we have to replace it, right?
yeah, correct.
Reposition. Yeah.
So here we see the amplitudes are very high, and now the amplitudes are clear lower than before, but it's still the same pattern. That's the reason there you can see the difference if you measure directly inside near the gear meshing frequency, or if you measured outside. But the peaks are still available.
So it's mean in this online monitoring vibration, we maybe we read the data by its pattern, not the amplitude shown or something like that. Because in
Yes,
the
so
before the sensor is inside the equipment, so it will show the peak is very high, yeah. But
yeah,
now
correct.
in the outside, it's the so the peak is literally lower than before. Is there is no problem about this?
No, there's no problem, because it would be a problem if we don't know that the sensor is relocated. If we now we know, okay, the sensor was moved from inside to outside the gear unit, and then we know, okay, the amplitudes must be lower than before. And then we have a new fingerprint, because now, so we named it always fingerprint. If we collect the data from one gear unit, we have one pattern for the gear unit. If
Okay.
there's something changed, a new bearing is inside, or bevel wheel is exchanged, or in this case the sensor is relocated, then we know, okay, we have to wait 1-2 weeks to collect enough data to set new basebands for this one, and then we cannot compare the values before the exchange and after this exchange. So you have to make a cut between these trends. And then
Okay,
we,
I got it.
yeah, okay. So,
So
but I
based
don't
on your
see,
recommendation about this replacement of the sensor position, is there is some issue about the sensor, so you want to reposition this from inside to outside, or just about the higher of the amplitude? So there is another issue about the sensor or not? I want to know about why your recommendation to reposition the sensor.
Yeah, okay, no problem. So if you load now the trend data of the Warmill 2, we load from the 12, we load 1 month, for example. So a little bit more than 1 month. Append. Monitoring system.
But I'm still curious, Eric. So, what could be the explanation that somebody is doing mobile measurements every 2 weeks and somehow detects some abnormalities in the bevel gear stage, which we don't see, which obviously are not present at all in reality? So, that means somebody is doing something wrong, or what is happening there?
Maybe if you see sidebands, I'm not sure if this rotating frequency is showing over all the spectra or it's only around the gear meshing frequency. I don't know if there's something influences by the input by the rotating frequency of the input shaft. I don't know. Which sidebands do you see? One order or the frequency of the input input shaft or of the sun shaft?
On the input shaft, Mr. Emric.
Okay. Yeah, maybe there are some influences by the motor, for example, that the measurements are influenced by this. I don't know.
So, some kind
don't
of
know
filter
exactly.
settings, you mean?
Yeah.
Wait a second, I will open the data first, and then we can discuss about this. Yeah, this is interesting for me to discuss with you guys.
Okay. So the other topic was the ACC 901. So I loaded now for 1.5 months. And if we look here in the data, we see many times that the values getting invalid. So 260 millimeter per second when you don't see anything at your gear unit. So the gear unit is broken completely. So these are invalid values. And then you change the sensor, and since the change, you don't see any high outliers. So now the signal is valid. Do you understand this?
Okay. So you mean that before is the data is not stable on the high amplitude, yeah? But now after replacing position, it more stable and below that before. Correct?
Yeah, correct. So before, I think it should be around 2 millimeter per second. So in this case, the values are valid. So we have always some time ranges where the signals were valid. but we have a lot of time ranges where we have some outliers in the signal, and then we cannot monitor the IMS value. If we have every or twice a day these outliers, we cannot monitor this, because every time we will receive an alarm email, go to the system and see, oh, that wasn't an increasing trend, it was only an outlier. And so we recommend to replace the sensor. And now we have a stable trend, and this trend we can monitor correctly. We can set alarm limits to this one, and we can, monitor this.
So the internal acceleration sensor was defect, and we have installed a new one on the outside, correct?
Yeah.
I think I saw some emails, but I was not.
Yeah.
So the
correct.
internal is still sitting inside the gearbox now.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
correct, Mr. Correct. Now we
Okay.
have two sensor, one inside, there is no purpose about that, and one in the outside.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
about this data, Mr. Eric, I can see about this spectrum that so the data that we collect before we reposition the sensor, we cannot use that data for historical.
You can use this data, but only till the exchange. So you can use the data from here. Yeah, you have to be careful with this data. So sometimes there are high ski slope effects. So these are invalid. I think this caused the high values. If we go to other ones, so here the ski slope isn't so high, so this should be okay.
Which one the pattern that looks okay about the
So
reading
the
sensor?
pattern from around 20 or 17 orders looks okay, but everything which is lower than 17 orders, it's invalid. So this high ski slope effect, that's the reason why we receive so high IMS values, and this is the invalid part of the spectrum. Here we have, it's okay, this is okay, but here we have this high ski slope effect too. So you can use this pattern, but you must be very carefully by evaluating this one. So since the exchange, we have no further ski slopes. So these peaks are always ended around 2 orders, and that's okay. So everything before, it's okay. So
Mr. Eric,
yeah.
there is a lot of question on my mind about this. Yeah, is there a problem about this? I will ask again about the reposition of the sensor on the Romil one. Still, we use the sensor inside the gearbox, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, that the Romil 2 have the sensor on the outside, so it means the spectrum should be different between these two because of the position of the sensor. It's already different also. Am I correct?
Yeah, the amplitudes should be different, but the pattern should be
Should be the
similar.
same. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It means how about the limit? You also change the limit about this reposition sensor or not?
Um, this is a task of Dr. Jörg Deckers. I don't know if it's still done or if it's an open topic at his task. I can ask him, but after relocating, we have to wait 1 or 2 weeks to receiving or to collecting enough spectra to calculate new alarm bands. So we cannot collect only one spectra, set our alarm bands, because maybe this one spectra is much too high. So we have every time some fluctuations in the amplitudes, and so we need some amplitudes for the reference to set the correct alarm limits. So I don't know if Dr. Jörg Deckers set the new alarm bands or not.
Okay, so you still don't know, yeah, about the alarm setting of the open projector before, yeah?
Yeah, before it was set, but now I don't know if it's readjusted or not.
Okay. Thank you.
But
Thank
it
you.
will be done at least latest in 1 week. So we monitor this gear unit. You don't have to don't worry about this.
Okay, so you mean that the limit of the alarm should be or must be setting again, yeah, because the
Yeah,
sensor is reposition.
yeah, correct.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Eric.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh,
So
once again, my friend is asking me to ask to you. How about the setting? How about the you set? eh, eh, are you will be teach us about how to set the alarm, or it's only you can setting the alarm?
it's only we can set the alarm, because yeah, it's easier to track the alarms. So I showed it before that we have 2 different credentials. So here you have your credential. So this is the user interface, or this is the user interface for the for your user. And if we log in with our credentials, we have some more icons, and then we are able to set the alarm limits. But we are always on the point, we have the order to monitor your gear units, and so it's in our responsibility that the alarm limits are set correctly, and so we want to set it on our own and don't give the customer to the don't give the customer the possibility to change the alarm settings.
Okay. So it responsibility for you to set the alarm, not us, yeah. So
Yeah,
we here
correct.
only create the spectral and read it and monitoring the signal, yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
no
you
for the
can,
setting alarm, yes.
yeah, correct. You can see the alarms, you can view all the spectra, you can view all the signals we have in our systems, but the alarm settings, it's in our responsibility, and you have not the possibility to change to set the alarm limits.
Okay. Got it. Thank you, Mr. Rick.
No problem. Do you have further questions? Loading data, viewing data, or something else?
Maybe for now we still remember it, but if another day we forgot about it, I will remind to chat with you so we can sharing again about this. Yeah, is there is problem with this, Mr. Eric?
If it's not too often, it's no problem. So
Okay.
not every day, but I share some documents, and normally it should be enough with these documents. But if you have any problems, then then you can ask me some specific questions. That's no problem. If it's too much, we have to look if we set one further meeting and how we handle this.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric.
Yeah, no problem. You're welcome.
Yeah, and maybe I can suggest maybe you should use the client PC also regularly, because if you don't use it for 3-4 weeks, then I also believe, of course, you will forget a lot of things.
Yeah. We will discuss about this maybe with our team here.
Yeah. So, and now I think everything is possible on your configured PC, and you should only work on this one, okay? So the CMS systems, it's sometimes a little bit confusing for us if we log into the system and there are so many plots are opened, then we don't know, are we or someone of us is working on the system and is,
Correct.
for example, writing a report? Okay, great. So that is important for us. So that's the reason why we configured you an additional PC. And if you're using it regularly, it should be no problem to use this. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Rick.
From my side, there are no further questions.
Maybe the other, if there is maybe from Mr. Edo from mechanical team will be asked something. Mr. Edo.
Mr. Edo is muted. I don't know.
No, thanks.
Okay, no problem. Okay. If no further questions, I would close this meeting and will send you the documents in the next days.
Okay, Mr. Eric.
Great. Thank you all and have a nice day.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Okay,
nice
thank
day,
you.
Mr.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Terima kasih.
Bye. See you.